Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and we continue our playlist English Grammar from Zero, Lesson 20. Really, it's a very important playlist, yeah, we've studied a lot, and I think it's also a good idea to revise everything so you can listen, to these videos when you do other things too, it's a good idea. And really, let's revise everything, let's try to remember what we studied. Really, how do we form present simple? So if there is a verb, we use it with do or does. So we use do with I, we, you, they, and does with he, she, it, plus verb. For example, do you find it interesting? So we have you, so we use do. Do you find it interesting? Does she find it boring? So we have she, so we use does. Does she? Does she find it boring? Yeah, so the problem is that sometimes you don't have a pronoun, you have maybe a noun or a phrase, and you need to understand what pronoun it is. For example, do your parents find it strange? So you need to understand what it means. So your parents, yeah, it means they. We say do they, and that's why we say do your parents find it strange. Does your friend consider it a waste of time? So your friend, he or she, we say does he, does she. So does your friend consider it a waste of time? Yeah, how to ask a special question. So you put a question word in the beginning. For example, when, where, why, how, what. Then you have do or does, plus subject plus verb. Why does he complain? So you see, why is a question word, does, because of he, and you have a verb, complain. Why does he complain? So what do they buy? Or what do they usually buy? What does your girlfriend usually cook? So it's the same story. You just need to understand that your girlfriend means she. So we say does she, what does your girlfriend usually cook? When does your teacher check it? So your teacher, he or she, so we have does. When does your teacher check it? How do their parents control it? Their parents, it's they, so how do they control it? How do their parents control it? Okay? Also try to remember different phrases. For example, we say run fast, he runs fast, or you can say I want to speak English fast and naturally, really, or I want to learn English really fast. Yeah, it's a good idea. And some more interesting examples. So you see, when do the exams finish? You also need to remember that you need to use some articles, sometimes there, or maybe no articles at all. So, but if you say when do exams finish, so you are talking about, all the exams in the world, but it's impossible. You're talking about the exams, yeah, just maybe a group of exams, some exams, so only that. When do the exams finish? Okay, you need more practice, and actually this playlist is full of practice. You'll see interesting words, phrases, sentences. Just listen to it and try to understand, and I think it's also a good idea to use these structures, phrases in your speech too. Okay, so does your boyfriend want to buy a new car? So a new car. So we say an adjective, we have an adjective and a noun. New is an adjective and car is a noun. And normally, so if it's one car singular, we put an article. So an article, a or an adjective and a noun, a new car. Okay, does she run fast? What do they usually have for breakfast? Yeah, we say for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Do you have your own business? Your own business, or business which belongs to you. Okay, very good. So what is next? Okay, my partner doesn't have an interesting offer. So it's the same story. An article plus, so an adjective plus a noun. An interesting offer. So you can say I don't have a car. So don't or doesn't have. Or you know that there is this structure too. Haven't or hasn't got. It's okay too. I haven't got a car. And you know that we use hasn't with he, she, it. He hasn't got a car. She hasn't got a car. Okay, does she get $300 a month? So a month, a year, and so on. Okay, and some more important phrases. Let's focus on prepositions, okay? So I go to work. We say go to work. I work very hard, means a lot. I have a job. We say I have a job. I like my job. I have good colleagues. We work together very well. I have different hobbies. I like English. I learn English online on the channel English Galaxy, or if we're talking about our international channel, it's called English Professionally. I learn English online on the channel English Professionally. And I think that you prefer to learn English effectively. Okay, good. And some more questions and examples, yeah? Where do they study? Do you have a job? Do you have good friends? So when you listen to it, try to understand, first of all, two things. The first thing is you understand it or not. Yeah, and the second thing is that you understand how to build these sentences. Okay? Where does your friend work? Where does your friend study? How does he spend his free time? How does she prefer to learn English? Why does she learn Spanish? Okay, I have different examples for you so you can listen and repeat. Where do you study? Does he smoke? When do the lessons finish? Does he want to have a car? He runs fast. I want to learn English fast. Why does he teach English? Where does she play this game? Does he want to read this book? Do you have a girlfriend? Why do these problems interest you? When does that lesson usually finish? What do all these things mean? What do you usually eat for breakfast? This result seems very good. Why does it seem to you? How does she do it? Does she really like it? Where do you buy it? What does she have? How do you use it? Why do those things seem boring? This house doesn't look expensive. Do you need it right now? Does he have his own business? Do these things interest you? This result doesn't seem very good. Does he play the guitar? Does she call him? Do I show good results? Does he need to learn English more regularly? Does she remember it? How do they sell these things? What do you see? When does it start? Or when does it begin? Does he like those lessons? How do your friends pay for it? Your mother usually stays at home. Does his wife usually buy expensive things? Does he want to help them? Do you know it better? My friends don't have an interesting offer. Does she listen to this music? Does she support this idea? Why do these things seem interesting? Does she need support? What do you teach? Why does she support him? Do his parents tell him everything? Do they come home early? Does he dance professionally? Does that thing interest them? Does she need to study more? Does my best friend need my support now? When do you learn English? Do you think so too? Do you also think so? Do they get $500 a month? Does he want to study in another place? Do you have a car? Does your cousin believe in ghosts? Do you speak Spanish? When do you go to work? Do you live in Russia? Do your colleagues get $500 a month? Does he often call her? Why does your husband need it urgently? Do these lessons really help? Does this idea seem interesting? My best friend doesn't need support now. Do your parents always take her? My brother doesn't try to learn English. Does it look beautiful? Where does your teacher write these words? Does she often sing this song? Where does your classmate live? Do you want to come? How does your sister do it? Do you speak English? This result doesn't seem good. Does the teacher want to tell us all the news? How does he sell this product? Do you usually come early? Why do you do it? Do they always take her? Where does he run? Do you live there? Does she feel good? What does this ticket include? Do they call him? Does he agree with you? He doesn't have his own business. Do his students feel progress? I think differently, or I think another way. Where does your brother study? These results seem good. Do your parents also think so? Do your parents think so too? How does she find time for everything? How often does your friend use the internet? Why does your boss think so? Does it look wonderful? Do his parents believe in God? Do you like these lessons? Does your teacher like these lessons? Does your brother try to learn English? Does your boss know all the information? What does she say? Does your boyfriend believe him? Do your parents want to learn English? Does this thing interest you? Do you often go to the cinema? Where do they do it? Does she often call him? Do your neighbors know this story? Does he often travel? How do they get this money? What does this word mean? Does his friend want to continue? Does he need to work more? Okay, really, this playlist is extremely important, yeah? So, actually, it's about the most important grammar in English. So, most important and then different aspects of English grammar. So, more and more advanced grammar and grammar structures. So, that's great. Thank you very much. And so, really, let's continue. Thanks a lot. Thank you.